The MCU. I just don't get it. Welcome back to the Junk Room, everybody. It's me, the Junkman, coming back at you with a whole new video. Okay, this video here, not even 100% sure I'm going to upload it. Usually, I don't really write my videos unless it's maybe some history about some Star Wars toys or something. If it's just a lot of it's off the cuff, or I'll make some notes and I'll go from the notes. But I don't even have no notes here. But I just wanted to talk to you guys about the MCU, the Marvel Cinematic Universe, as it's known as. Now, I just don't get it. And when it comes to the Avengers movies, I really don't get it at all. Now, as you know, the Endgame movie came out this weekend, and it made $350 million in the U.S. over the weekend, blowing the previous records out the water, which was held by The Force Awakens, I believe. Well, I can tell you about how Endgame opened up on more screens than The Force Awakens did, more theaters, and ticket prices has gone up. But that's just nitpicking. It made more money than The Force Awakens or any Star Wars movie. But I just don't get the MCU. Now, a lot of people told me I hate the MCU or I hate Marvel. That's not true. I don't hate Marvel. I just don't get it. And maybe this video someone can help me out here, or maybe I'm just too old to get it. Who knows? Now, let me say I do like some Marvel movies. I love the Iron Man series. I even love Iron Man 2, which a lot of people tell me is one of the worst Marvel movies there is. But I loved Iron Man. Loved 1, 2, and I even loved 3. And now, what else is there? There's Ant-Man. I really enjoyed Ant-Man a lot. I haven't seen Ant-Man 2, and really have no desire to see it at all. And then there's the Spider-Man MCU movies. Well, just one so far. And I'm kind of looking forward to seeing the second one. I really enjoyed that. Michael Keaton was pretty awesome in it. And I've always been a kind of fan of Spider-Man. And I remember liking a little bit Guardians of the Galaxy. Never saw the second one. The movie Thor was a chore to get through. And I can't remember anything about it. I can't even remember if I finished it. Did see Captain America and can't really remember anything about it. That's my problem with the Marvel movies so far that I've seen, at least. Even when I like them, like Ant-Man, Guardians of the Galaxy, and some of the Iron Man movies, even after a day or two, I can't tell you anything about them. I loved Ant-Man. I remember watching it, enjoying it. I can't tell you anything about Ant-Man right now, other than he turned into an Ant-Man, and there was some guy with wings that flew around, some bird guy that seemed like an out of place, like they just added that scene in to tie it into the Marvel Universe or something. Don't really know what's going on there. What other movies? There's Black Panther. Never seen Black Panther. Heard it was good. Might check it out one day. Captain Marvel. Doesn't look like it's anything I'm interested at all. Doesn't look like anything I would like. Not going to see Marvel. And it's nothing against the actress that plays Captain Marvel. I see a lot of hate going toward her. But I've never seen it. Don't care to see it. It has nothing to do with the actress that plays it. Although I will admit, from the little I've seen of her, she does kind of get under my skin, where she seems like the kind of uptight princess in high school that you went with, that thought she was better than everybody. But that's just a feeling I get reading stuff on Twitter and looking online. I could be completely wrong about that, and I'm open to saying I'm wrong. And then there's that Doctor Strangelove movie. I've never seen it, but the whole thing just seems too wacky for me. I remember seeing one of the Avengers movies, I think it was Infinity War, where his cape walks around the street and stuff, and that was just a little too much for me. And you might be saying, well, Junkman, you just don't get comic book movies. You don't like comic book movies. You don't like superhero movies. That's not true. Some of my favorite movies are comic book movies. In fact, I love the Dark Knight trilogy, all 3 of them, even the one with Bane. It gets a lot of bad talk. I don't know why. It's a very great movie. It's not as great as The Dark Knight, but Dark Knight Returns is right up there. And then there's Logan, one of the best movies I've ever seen. It might go into my top 10 best movies ever, even if it's not counting comic book movies. And I'm really looking forward to the Joker movie, and like I said, the new Spider-Man. Now, I did see the first Avengers movie, and I was really, really bored at it. I saw it at the theaters, and now here, I can't remember a thing about it, so I can't really tell you about it. Now, I think I saw Avengers 2. I remember seeing one Avengers movie where they fought some big light in the sky. and that was boring. And then the hype, I believe, brought me back to the second movie where they fought a bunch of robots. And that's about all I remember also. And I remember thinking in the theater, where are these robots coming from? How are they making them? What factory are they coming up? Who's doing the assimilation? And I just couldn't follow it after that. Maybe I overthink these movies a little too much. And I really can't stand that Loki guy. I think that's his name, Loki. Isn't he like Thor's brother? One thing, let me get on Thor. I tried to watch the Thor movie, hated it. Someone told me that the third what's the other Thor movie? Thor Fraggle Rock was a good movie. And it might be good, but whenever I see Thor on screen, I can't understand nothing the guy's saying. I'm like, what? What's he saying? And even during the Thor movie, I had to turn on closed captions sometimes so I could understand what he was saying. So maybe the Thor Fraggle Rock movie is good. I haven't seen the second one, only seen the first one, and man, it was rough. And I only saw it because I'm a big fan of Natalie Portman. But it seems like the standalone movies, I kind of enjoy them a little bit more. Like I said, even if they are very forgettable. But it's when they team up with the Avengers, it just really bores me. Now, I didn't see Infinity War until about a month ago. I watched it on Netflix, and it took me a day and a half to get through it because it was just so boring to me. But I admit, it's boring to me because I didn't know who half of these characters was. And to me, I think a movie should work on its own. Let's take Empire Strikes Back, for example. One of the best movies, not one of, the best Star Wars movie. But I think if you showed Empire Strikes Back to anyone, or most people, they would enjoy it, even if they didn't see A New Hope or any Star Wars movie before it. But I think with a movie like Infinity War, and I'm guessing with Endgame, if you go into it blind, not knowing these characters, you're not going to enjoy it. So being I had no real backstory of Black Panther, I didn't know who that Nebula girl was, and there was some guy that I thought was Red Skull halfway through the movie, but it turned out to be somebody else. It was a red guy with a diamond on his face. And he hung out with some girl I'd never seen either. I mean, I'd never seen this actress in anything. So I didn't know who these people were. So again, maybe this is why I couldn't get into the Infinity War movie. But I'll say this. When I see a trailer for Infinity War, Endgame, even Avengers 2, I'm amazed. I'm like, this looks like something I would love. And I love the whole universe thing they set up. How one movie links to another movie. That's a dream. I remember debating in school about, or talking to friends in school about how they should do that with these movies. Link them all together. And now they finally did, and I just can't enjoy it. Am I just too old for these type of movies? Is that what it is? I'm not really sure. Now, I will admit, I have a different taste when it comes to movie. I'm not a big action fan guy. I've seen Die Hard, I liked it, but the other ones I never really cared about. So I'm not really a big action movie guy. The movies I like are more smaller, independent type movies. So I'm not really a big action movie guy, and I think that also hurts my love for these films, as something about these superheroes that can't really be hurt, fighting each other, throwing each other against the wall, it just comes off as boring, and I don't really care. I'm like, okay, they're going to fight, and nothing's ever going to happen. So I don't know why I'm doing this video, really. Usually I'm talking toys or Star Wars or something, but just with all the hype over the weekend about the MCU, I just don't get it. And like I said, I watch these trailers, and I wish I did. They look amazing. So it's not like people say I hate these movies. I don't hate them. I enjoy them, and I wish I did like them. Now, DC, I haven't seen all the new DC movies, but I've seen the Justice League one at a hotel, only about 20 minutes of it, and it looked god awful, so I couldn't get into it at all. And I did see Aquaman. Aquaman was okay. I don't know if I would see it again, but I didn't hate it. Batman versus Superman, it's really, that was one I was really looking forward to seeing. Didn't like it at all. But back to Marvel. These movies look exciting. They make me want to go see them. Even Endgame. Even if I was bored with Infinity War, I want to go see Endgame. Forgot the name of it. But I just can't bring myself, especially that 3-hour runtime. Now, one of my favorite movies, as I said before, was JFK. That's a little over 3 hours, but it flies by when I watch it. And I have no problem watching a 3-hour movie, but it's getting up, going to the theater, sitting there for 3 hours, spending that money. And then what if I'm an hour or more into it and I'm not liking it? I feel like I'm wasting my money. And then I start getting all grumpy watching the film. And then somebody told me there's a Fortnite reference in it about sticking legs up somebody's butt. And I hope I was wrong about that. That's what really turns me off, I think, with Marvel the most, is the humor. Now, Iron Man's kind of funny. He's witty, he says stuff back, and I can handle him. Peter Parker, I guess, is kind of funny, but the rest of them, they have the worst corny jokes. They're like dad jokes in a Marvel movie. They're just horrible jokes in Marvel movies. Now, me and my son did watch Infinity War, who is 12, and you would think right up his alley, but he made me turn it off a little more than halfway through the movie. So really don't get it at all. But there was a scene where it was a green guy, and he was eating potato chips. And me and my son laughed at that and thought it was really funny. That and the other part that we laughed at was, there was a guy, I think it was Black Panther, could be wrong. He's talking to Captain America and he says, "Get that man a shield." And then a couple scenes later, we see our Captain America with his shield, and it's just like a little shield that you wear on your arm. It looks like something you wear in a soccer game. Me and my son laughed at that because, Captain America's supposed to have a big old shield. I don't know why he's running around with that little thing on his arm. It looked like it did nothing. That was kind of funny. And that green dude eating the potato chips, that really killed us. But for the most part, I can handle Iron Man, Tony's little comebacks and jabs and everything. And I think he's pretty funny. I love seeing him and Gwyneth Paltrow together. What's her name? Parker Posey. And I love I don't know, his chauffeur guy that's played by Jon Favreau. He's pretty good. I really like Iron Man. And I don't think I'm ever going to see an Iron Man 4. So part of me wants to see Endgame just for that. But again, I just don't get these movies, so maybe you guys can help me out here. Do I need to just force myself to watch them all in order and then lead up to Endgame and maybe I'll like it better? Or if it's this many movies in and I hadn't really enjoyed them, and the ones I did enjoy, I forgot about in a day or two and can't tell you anything about them, does that mean they're just not right for me? And again, I don't hate Marvel movies. Again, I wish I got into them. They look exciting. They look very fun. But I just can't do it. It seemed like nothing really happened in Infinity War. And even at the end, they all disappeared. And I said, well, I know they're going to come back in the next movie. So didn't really seem that exciting to me. I had nothing invested in these characters, I guess. So nothing really connected when they disappeared. And I knew, at least for Spider-Man and Black Panther, they both had a new movie coming out soon. So I knew they weren't going to stay dead. And I figured the other ones wouldn't either. And I really hate fake deaths. That's one thing that's got me kind of worried about this Palpatine might be coming back for the new Star Wars. Because Star Wars, for the most part, other than Force Ghosts, has stayed away from fake deaths. But then they did Darth Maul, and I hated that they bring Darth Maul back. Although I've come to accept it, hate that they brought him back. And I think it robs Obi-Wan of his first official kill in The Phantom Menace and changes too much. I don't like that they brought him. I hated the whole spider leg thing. But I hate when they bring dead people back to life, especially one that's been cut in half and fell down a big shaft. So to see how they bring the Emperor back, if it's not some kind of ghost, spirit, hologram or something like that, I might be a little disappointed. I hope not. Again, so I want to stress again, I don't hate the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and I do love comic book movies. I just really can't get into this Avengers stuff, and I really wish I did. Again, I'm not sure why I'm making this video here. It's not to bash on it. It's not to say, hey, these movies suck. Why do you like it? They're corny. They're stupid. They're garbage. They're not garbage. I can understand why anyone would like it. I really can. If you love the MCU, and most of you do, I can understand why you like it. And honestly, unlike something like Avatar, where I know people that loved it and I couldn't understand why, and I was like, I just hated Avatar. It's the only movie I almost walked out of. Hated that movie, which is odd because when Avatar came out, everyone loved it. And I was the only one that was like, me and my daughter went to see it, and we were both like, this is garbage. This is horrible. The guy flew around on a bird for like 20 minutes. And everybody loved it. But now it's like everybody hates it. So I don't know what happened, where that shift came in. Because I couldn't find anybody back then that hated it and agreed with me. But now a lot of people do. Now, what was I saying before that? Oh, see, I don't have that. I had more of a, I wouldn't say a hatred for Avatar, but I just like, oh, how do you like that? Yuck. But with Marvel, at least the Avengers movies and stuff, they tell me they don't like it, and I think, well, I can see where they're probably entertaining for you. I wish I got into them, but I don't. So I just wanted to kind of bring it out there, throw it up there. Maybe you guys can leave some comments, tell me what I'm missing. Maybe I need to rewatch them again from the first MCU movie and go and keep going until I get back up to the end game, and then maybe I'll enjoy it more. Man, getting through those Thor movies are hard when I can't even understand him. And to be honest with you, I really don't like that guy that plays Dr. Strangelove. He was okay in the Star Trek movie, but something about, you know, there's some actors that even if there's no reason why you don't like them, just something about their face, you just don't like them. And I just don't like that guy. I don't know why. And that Loki guy, I can't stand that Loki guy. Loki, is that his name? Anyway, I'm starting to ramble here. So, I haven't seen Endgame. I'm probably going to wait till it comes on Netflix, or I guess it's probably going to skip that and go to Disney Plus. I'll probably watch it then. Trying to stay spoiler free, but I've heard some things. It's hard not to hear those things. So anyway, like I said, I just want to throw this up, get your thoughts out there. Is it just me? Does any of you out there not get into these movies like everybody else? I don't know. But anyway, I'll be back with another video very soon. As always, want to support this channel, click up there and go to the Patreon or in the description below. Become a supporter of the channel. Get some exclusive content. Or buy some cool shirt. Or buy some cool shirts at thatjunkman.com. Like this one right here, the top seller. And as always, subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell so you know when a new video comes up. And thumb up. So YouTube know you like this video and it'll recommend it to more people. Thank you for watching. Be back very soon.
Thank you, sir, for that unsolicited testimony.